What is up everybody, this is Tattoobart and welcome to the channel. And today we got a really cool video because we are going to compare two of my favorite machines to each other, which is going to be the Mast Race Pro, in this case the Armored Edition, and our OG Produce Fury 2, which is currently probably my favorite machine, but this one as well. It's really hard to choose. They both have a hard soft mode sort of system. One can be frequency adjustable in soft, hard and medium mode. This one just has a switch between a harder and a soft mode. Both are a 4.2mm machine. Let's just compare them and we're gonna test them and see whatever works best whenever we're tattooing. So let's just dive down and have a look at these two machines. So here we got our Mast Race Pro and our OG Produce Fury on the right side. Now let's do a little bit of a size comparison. The OG Produce stands a little bit taller, but I do have to say it is a little bit lighter and a little bit less bulky. The diameter seems to be about the same. This one is just a bit heavier, but yeah, also the battery is integrated here in the grip, and on the OG Fury it is on the top. Now this is a very small machine as well, it's just the battery that makes it a bit bigger. I do feel like the OG Produce is a little bit lighter, but why do I want to compare these two machines to each other? And it's basically because they both have like a hard soft mode sort of thing, which I think is a very cool and innovative system that can be done on a pen style machine. Now how do we enter those modes? Right here we will go turn on the Mast Pro. Right now it is in voltage mode, which does not have that hard and soft mode, but if we double tap the power button, we will enter the frequency mode. And right now it is on a soft mode, and we can run it, and it's just on 31 Hertz. We can increase that and make the machine run a little bit faster. And kind of get into that. So we're gonna play around. We are going to use the hard mode and the soft mode only. I'm not gonna play around too much with the medium mode because our OG Produce friend here also have a hard and a soft mode, which is when we turn on the machine. You can see right here on the right bottom, right now it is in hard mode. It has that spiky and the G. Now if we double tap that, you see it has a little bit more of a wavy pattern, which would be the soft mode. And you can hear, even though this is 7 volts, it is running really soft. And this is 6.5, and it sounds a bit faster as well and a bit more punchier. So let's square them off to each other. We're gonna get some practice skin ready. We're gonna use some of my favorite needles from Dragonhawk, or the Dragonhawk U cartridges. We're gonna use a 3-round liner in a 10 gauge, which is a super small fine line machine, or a very nice fine line needle. We're going to use a 12-11 round liner, which will show how much power they have whenever we have to do a more bigger line. And we're going to use a 13-round Magnum to do some shading, and I want to see pepper shading, soft shading, basically all kinds of shading, and see whatever works best. And with our 3-round liner, we're going to see how nice of a dot work pattern they can create. Now I have used both of these machines on real skin as well, and you can check those videos out on my channel. So if you haven't seen those already, make sure to go check them out. Let's just get the practice skin ready. So we're gonna do the 3-round liner in our Mast Race Pro. So I wanna use soft mode first. I'm gonna use somewhere 83 Hertz. It is bouncing around just a little bit and a bit harder to control. Now let's see how that is when we go to a harder mode. Go a little bit faster too. Pretty cool. Pretty good line work as well. Nice and saturated. So that was the lining with the Mast Racer. I do have to say on the hard mode, it was a little bit easier to line with, which is, you know, normal. It has a bit more punch, it's a bit easier to control. But since it's such a small needle configuration, I just want to see how it does. So we're gonna do the same thing with our OG Fury. We're gonna run it in soft mode. We do have to increase the voltage just a little bit. Feel it bouncing around just a little bit, the same like I had on the Mast. It does give me a pretty decent line. Alright, pretty good. Now let's go to the hard mode, 6.5 volts. Still with a 3-round liner. Pretty good, very nice and steady line. So yeah, I do feel like differences between the modes are a bit bigger. Also when it's in soft mode, I do feel like the OG Produce is a bit softer, but it's also a bit more consistent. This one still feels like it is a little bit inconsistent, not a whole lot. I remember I complained a lot about it about the previous version, but so far it seems that the OG Produce is a little bit more consistent. Now we're gonna use a bigger liner. We're gonna go to our 11-round liner. We're gonna use this in hard mode only, and just have a look which machine will punch it in best. It's on hard mode. I do think we need to increase our hertz a little bit. So we're gonna use about 100 hertz on this one. Good. We're gonna use it in our OG Produce. We're gonna keep it on 6.5 just because it seems like that's almost the same speed as what I put the Mast Racer on. And let's see how this one does. As well, very nice and solid. So yeah, all pretty good on the line work so far. Let's go back to our three round liner. We're gonna see how well it does with some dot shading. We're gonna go back into our soft mode and we're gonna run it just really slow. 40 hertz. Very nice, peppery shading out of the Mast Racer. And now let's see if we can get the same thing out of the OG Fury. So I do have a feeling that the OG Produce, which is on the right side, is also a little bit softer, like actual softer, because the pigmentation seems a little bit lighter than what the Mast did, and it's all done with solid black. So I feel like the OG Produce is a bit more softer when it is in soft mode. Now let's see if we can make that difference show when we are using a Magnum. So we're gonna use the same frequency as we did for the pepper shading, but now we're gonna do that with a 13 round Magnum. So this is still on soft mode, 40 hertz. And let's see how that works with a Magnum. Let's stack it up here. Just gonna use some fancy whip shading. I do think this may be a little bit too slow. So I'm gonna keep one separate box. We're just gonna increase the voltage a little bit. 55 hertz. Yeah, this sounds a bit better. Now we get a little bit more of a nice soft shading look. Because in the other one you get a bit more of that traditional pepper Magnum shading. It's actually a bit softer. Sometimes you need to run your machine just a little bit faster. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. All right. So that's some decent shading. You can see a bit of the difference in the shading there, but very nice and smooth shading. Now we're gonna do the same thing with our OG Fury 2. I'm gonna start slow as well. First do that 7 volts again. Just about the same as where we had the Mast Racer at first. So see if it gives that same sort of effect. You feel like it is still a bit lighter, but it's the same on this side as well. Now let's increase the volts. I think about here sounds about the same, 7.8 volts. I feel like when I make contact to the practice skin, that this machine feels a bit softer, where I can really feel a lot of force coming from the Mast the Mast Race Pro. OG Fury seems to be a little bit softer when it's in that soft mode. So yeah, the soft mode on the OG Produce seems to be a little bit more softer, where it is a bit more harder on the Mast Racer Pro. But they all get a very nice result in the end. It just whatever you prefer. So that was kind of the comparison between these two machines. I think both of these machines are absolutely amazing. I love them so much. I can pretty much not really pick between the two, but I hope I got to display a little bit of the differences between these machines and where they can kind of shine. So I would personally say, let's say you are a black and gray artist, so you do a lot of realism, but you also like to maybe you incorporate your pieces with some lettering and some things sometimes, and you feel like your soft shader is not really doing the job that it does whenever you have to do the lettering part, for example. In that case, I do feel like the OG Produce is probably your better option, because in that soft mode you can do all your super soft shading and all that good stuff, but if you actually have to put a really hard line in somewhere or do that lettering, and you can switch to that hard mode and actually do that, I think this could be really beneficial to whenever you are tattooing. Now, the other way around, if you would be using the Mast Racer Pro, maybe it is a bit too harsh on your shading, but your lettering would be great. But let's say you are a traditional artist or a neo-traditional artist where you need that heavy punch to put in big liners, you like to color pack with larger needles and things like that, and occasionally have to do a little bit of a softer shade, I do feel like the Mast Racer Pro is where it would be a little bit more beneficial for you. Even though if you just use it in voltage mode or in the frequency mode, that doesn't really matter. But yeah, it is a bit more into that style. It has a lot more, it's a bit more bulky, it has a bit more power. So for bolder work, it is a better machine than the OG Produce, even though you could get away with some things with the OG Produce in the hard mode as well. I just feel like it is a bit more made for that softer version. Now, this could also be because this is the Jason Ramos edition, and as you may well know, he prefers to use 3-round liners for most of his work. So that could also be that this machine is just built to be a little bit more soft and a little bit more specific to the style that he likes to tattoo. Now, I feel like both of these machines are absolutely great. They both help me to step up certain things within my style. If I like to do that peppery kind of shading, both of these machines work really good, but the bold lining, I would prefer to use the Mast Racer Pro. Now, if I have to do something black and gray, something realism, that OG Produce really helped me to get that really nice soft shading in that I never really got with any other machine, because for some reason I would always overwork or make my shades a little bit too dark, and with this machine I can really take my time to build up these shades in a softer way than what I'm used to. So yeah, like I said, it is no joke that these two machines are actually one of my favorite machines, or two of the favorite machines that I have, and that I like to use whenever I'm tattooing. I would be very curious to hear from you guys. If you have any of these two machines, or maybe you actually have both of these machines, let me know in the comments which one you think is actually a better machine. If you don't have any of these machines, but you might be looking to get one, and that's the reason why you probably got to this video, I will have a link in the description down below where you can purchase these machines with a little bit of an extra discount. If you're not really 100% sure yet, don't hesitate to write me in the comments down below with your question. I will get to you as soon as possible. Other than that, I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. Now, if you did, make sure to give me a thumb up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will wish you all a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.